Good morning. It's sunny, it's Sunday, and today we're going mountain biking. Now, from time to time, people ask me, Brian, what's the difference between living in France and Ireland? And I thought I'd use the medium of mountain biking to highlight some of those differences this morning on the way to where we're going. So in France and in Ireland, you have what's called trail centres, or bike parks. Don't know what they call them where you're from. And basically, a bike centre or a trail centre is a place you go to, usually on the side of a mountain, that has trails going from top to bottom, varying in gradients of steepness and technicality and all that good stuff. The easier ones tend to be sort of greens and blues, the harder ones tend to be sort of reds and blacks. And that's pretty universal. What's not universal, however, is how Irish people and French people approach going to trail centres. So the last time I was in Ireland, I went to a trail centre with my mate Dan. No, not him, another one. And Dan is probably one of the best mountain bikers I know. He's fearless on a bike. Fearless. He'll chuck it over anything. He once said to me, you know, Brian, when you're jumping a 30-foot gap jump, so what does it matter if your wheels are 6 inches above the ground or 6 feet above the ground? Sure, you're in the air for the 30 feet anyway. So that's how he kind of thinks about chucking bikes over things. He is a technically fantastic rider, and he just has no fear. Great man to follow down the trails. If you're ever going to a bike park, find a Dan to follow down the trails. In fact, I have 2 friends in Ireland that I happily follow down trails. One is my mate Ivan, because Ivan just doesn't use his brakes. He's a big lad, Ivan, and he's faster than he looks. And he's great to follow down the trails. The other is my friend Dan, because you know Dan will pick a line that won't put you wrong. So you just follow his wheel tracks and you sail over stuff. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, the cultural differences between Ireland and France when it comes to mountain biking are as follows. I went to the trail centre with Dan, we loaded up the van in the morning and we hit the road. And we stopped at a petrol station to buy lunch, which consisted of a fizzy bottle of pop and a pre-made garage sandwich. Then we went to the trail centre, had a great morning on the bikes, stopped for about 15 minutes to scarf down the sandwich, drink the fizzy bottle of pop, and hit the trails again. And we had a brilliant day. It was a really good day. Now, the trail centre I'm on my way to now is in France, obviously enough, and I'm meeting a few mates there. And a group chat was started yesterday about sort of the logistics for the day. And normally in a group chat about mountain biking, you'd be discussing things like, what sort of tyre pressure should I run my tyres on, or how much load should I put in the suspension, or what are the trail conditions like? Not in this one. A good portion of the group chat was about who's bringing the pastries for breakfast, will there be coffee available when we arrive? And the rest was about, so we found a local restaurant who's going to deliver a cooked meal at lunch using locally sourced produce, and can anyone bring a few bottles of wine? Same sport, different approaches. So what we're going to do is just go for a nice, relaxing bike ride through the French countryside. Here's a top tip if you're riding an e-bike. When you change gears, don't change under load. I see a few people doing it today. Imagine you're pedaling up a hill on a normal bike and you change gears. You're kind of shock loading the derailleur, which is the thing at the back of the bike that moves the chain up and down the cogs. Now if you're doing an e-bike, you've also got the power you're putting into the pedal and the power the motor's putting into the pedal. So it's even more of a shock load on the derailleur, which is can be a flimsy bit of kit like. So when you're changing gears going up a hill in an e-bike, just ease off the pedal for a second, click up a gear and then pedal up. That's the way you do it. Simples! I think we're going for coffee now. Jeez, it's nearly 11. Oh, what a lovely day. Anyway, that's me out of the race. I'm out of battery. But I think they're only doing one more run anyway, so that's okay with me. Right, back to the car. See if we can't go find a cup of coffee somewhere. Although it is Sunday, so probably not. So let me tell you the crack about today. So my mate Damien runs a bike club here in the cruise, and he organised an event today at a bike park here in the cruise, probably one of the best bike parks in the cruise, Single Tracks Bike Park. And he arranged for a mountain bike brand called Mustache to come and bring some of their demo bikes, and then he put out a registration form. Everyone signed up for the day. You got your lunch, your t-shirt, and you could test out some Mustache mountain bikes if you want. It was quite a great day. So unfortunately it's Sunday, so nothing's open here. So I think I'm just going to have to head home and get ready for work in the morning. Right, that's everything. Do you know what I can't find, and it's kind of worrying me? It's my blue hat with the stars on it. I hope I left it at the chateau, but I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow when I get back to work. Anyway, thanks very much for watching today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.